Go.
Good evening. It's May 15th, 2025, Thursday, and we're in Studio 6A, and I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, our humble hero from World War II. How are you doing today, Mr. Jeckovich?
Very good, thank you.
You're looking well.
Yeah.
You're looking well. Did you have a nice dinner?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We're reading his book, and his book is entitled Their Mother's Sons, and it's 849 pages. That must have took many years to write, correct?
No, 6 months.
Uh-huh. But I'm sure when you wrote the book, you didn't use Google or computers.
No.
You wrote it by hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wrote it by hand. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich believes in the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, right?
Right.
Today's a gift. Listen, boys and girls, it's a short dance around the sun. Life goes by fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Jeckovich said last month, he blinked his eyes at 20 years old, and you're 100, right?
I am 100 now, yeah.
You blinked your eyes.
Yeah.
That's how fast it went, right?
Yeah. Goes by fast.
Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925. Now we're 2025, and Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100.
Right, yeah. Pearly gates.
Pearly, you have a good sense of humor still.
Yeah.
You have a good sense of humor still. Mr. Jeckovich, he did not enlist in the Army. He waited to be drafted. Why did you wait to be drafted, Mr. Jeckovich?
Well, I take care of my mother.
Okay, that's one of the sacrifices that Mr. Jeckovich made. His older brothers, they both enlisted. When you enlist in the United States Army, you get a much better position.
Yeah.
One of his brothers enlisted, and he never went to combat.
No.
He never went overseas. He simply stayed in the States, and he taught people to drive.
How to recruit how to drive the Jeeps.
Was he some type of excellent driver?
No, I hit the fire hydrant once.
You hit a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
But the government gave him a job teaching youngsters how to drive Jeeps, new recruits. And so now, your case there, you did not enlist. You could have got a real cushy job. You did not enlist because you wanted to spend more time caring for your mother, right?
Right.
And so by waiting to get drafted, you're going to be pretty well assured that you're going to go to front line and you go to combat.
Yeah,
you're going to go to front line and you go to combat. So that's a sacrifice Mr. Jeckovich made. And during World War II, Mr. Jeckovich was shot in the shoulder by a sniper. He got hit by a dirty bomb, which still has shrapnel in his body. He got trench foot. He got frostbite, which he still suffers from today.
Lost a hip.
He lost a hip, and not only that, Mr. Jeckovich was, but when you were bombed, your buddy, Donald Lape, in the foxhole next to you, that dirty bomb hit both of you.
Yeah.
You still have the metal in your body, but what is a dirty bomb?
Full of razor blades, screwdrivers, and everything else. They put it in there and they drop it on you.
Yeah, so the Nazis put together a really nasty bomb that caused the most amount of damage to young soldiers. So they put in razor blade, tools, anything metal that would explode and expand.
Yeah.
Well, his buddy Donald Lape was only a teenager, 18 years old, and it blew off his whole head, and his head was here, and his glasses were simply hanging on one ear. Mr. Jeckovich got part of the bomb, but he survived, and then Mr. Jeckovich removed his glasses from Donald Lape, took one dog tag number off of Donald's body, and he sent his mother, Donald Lape's mother and father, a beautiful letter, which I think we recovered some of the letter here, and it was titled in April 1945.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful letter, And we have some of his Western Union documents that we
Oh, yeah, yeah, you got all that stuff now, yeah.
So, just one of them, for example. This is addressed to his mother, Mrs. Anna Jeckovich, 3063 Orleans Avenue. By the way, it seems millions of years ago, but your mother was born on August 13th, 1889.
Yeah,
August 13th, 1899. And when your father, his beautiful father, was an immigrant from Russia, he worked a legal immigrant that he came here to work. He came here to work, he was working 3 jobs to give this man a better life. And at the age of 43, he dropped dead of mixing cement.
yeah,
He dropped dead of mixing cement. Compared to how the illegal immigrants come today, they don't come to work. They don't come to better the system like your father did. They come to work the system, So, and oh, by the way, besides that, Mr. Jeckovich being shot up, bombed, hit by a sniper, he was also stabbed and beat up during World War II. But, being a street smart kid from Niagara Falls, New York, before he left World War II, with many injuries, but he had his life, he received the Bronze Star Medal, the Purple Heart Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the American Campaign Medal, the European African American Eastern Campaign Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, the World War II Victory Medal, Army of Occupation Medal with Deep Germany Clasp, the Combat Infantry Badge, Sharpshooter Badge with carbine, pistol, and machine gun bars, Marksman Badge with rifle bar, Honorable Service Lapel Button from World War II. Now, these medals that I just read to you, they didn't come from his book. They didn't come from me. They came from Major Sergeant, U.S. Army, Assistant Chief Awards and Decorations Branch, Michael A. Rice. And he's from the Department of the Army, U.S. Army Human Resources Command, 1600 Spearhead Division, Avenue, Department 480, Fort Knox, Kentucky. He sent us those. We didn't fabricate those. So that's a long list.
yeah.
A long list of decorations and medals you got. I'm not going to have time to go over all the Western Unions, but when Mr. Jeckovich was beat up and stabbed and sent over to the hospitals in Paris, here's one of the notes they sent to family. They sent to family so they didn't upset the family too bad. Here's what it said. Dear Anna Jeckovich, which is Mr. Jeckovich's mother, I regret, this is coming direct from the General Julio, and this is a Western Union telegram sent to his mother, and it says, Anna Jeckovich, I regret to inform you, your son, Private First Class John J. Jeckovich, here he is again, was slightly wounded in action, 15th J, and in
January.
15th of January, and you attached his mailing address from the hospital. So they attached the mailing address to the hospital. So they made it was slightly. And here's another one, Mr. Jeckovich, sent from the hospital, all done by Western Union. Western Union. This is to his mother, Anna Targus. Mr. Jeckovich is all beat up and he's in a hospital recuperating from Paris. And here's the Western Union telegram he sent to his mother. Here's what it says. Love to the best mother in the world, best wishes, and good health. My thoughts are with you, John Jeckovich. Now, why do we say this is the greatest generation? He didn't complain about all his injuries. He was asking for his mother to have good health and best wishes. Yeah. So those are the kind of people that we had back then. And I have a lot of other letters that I'll get blown up and be able to read at another time.
They're all gone.
Yeah. So it was an interesting fact that your mother was born on August 13th, 1889. Your father, I believe, was born in 1896. And when your father was buried in the cemetery in Lewiston, New York, they always put the spouse, even though she's not deceased, on a headstone.
Yeah.
Your mother said 1889, and your mother went there one time with a roll of masking tape.
Yeah.
And she taped over the ear.
Yeah.
She didn't want no one to know that year. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Wow. That was really interesting. It says here in the documents I received from the U.S. Army that you weighed 197 pounds.
Yeah.
And now what are you?
151.
You have a lot of catching up to do.
No, I'll never get it back.
187, you're down 36 pounds.
Yeah.
But what, on a side note, you can fit in both your uniforms and they'll fit loosely.
Yeah.
Wow. I meant to ask you, did you have a good dinner today?
Oh, yeah, very good, yeah.
Were these ladies with you all day?
No, yeah.
Boy, you're a lucky ass man. You're a lucky man. You don't got to worry in the world. So, anyways, we're the second time around reading Mr. Jeckovich's book, Their Mother's Sons, and I believe we're on chapter 6. Let me figure it out. I believe we're on chapter 6. And it's about being on furlough. Let's see. Chapter 6. Okay. Oh, but by the way, Mr. Jeckovich, you get many texts about how much is this book and where is it?
It's not for sale.
No, it's not for sale. He didn't write this book like a lot of these slick guys out there that might have been on the rear echelon and wrote a book.
Yeah.
They were never on the front line like this guy. No, it's not about money. He doesn't need the money. He's got plenty. This book was to give a younger generation a better life. Simple bits of knowledge in this book. They have the younger generation have a better life. That's what the book is all about. There's one of the books, the original, is in the World War II Museum in New Orleans, but it's not about selling. Farthest thing from his mind. It's about giving people a better life. Let me just read some excerpts I pulled from the book over the last year or so. Minutes, please.
She's gone. Everybody's gone.
You want coffee, Mr. Jeff?
No coffee.
How the hell? We have a staff of 5 or 6, and they're all behind me, but they all take a break together.
They're all left.
This ain't the federal government. We don't work like that. We're a private institution. Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
You want a drink or coffee?
She's going to come back in a minute.
But do you want a drink or something?
No. There she is.
Okay. Minutes, please.
16.
Okay. But here's some of the excerpts of the book that gives you an idea why he wrote the book, to give a younger generation a better life, a simpler life, an easier life. And you can text Mr. Jeckovich any question at 407-366-0000. Any question. His mind is like a library. Text him 407-366-0000. He'll answer any question if you want to talk to a true frontline combat infantry World War II vet. Leave a number. He'll call you back. He'll tell it straight. Give me a straight answer. You have a question on marriage. Is he an expert on marriage? Let's find out. How long were you married for?
Right.
How many years were you married for?
69.
I guess he is an expert on marriage. 90,000 plus divorces in Florida last year alone. And what was the major cause?
Money.
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 It's an absolute shame. It's an absolute travesty. 90-some thousand divorces, and almost all of them are based on money. Everything is so damn expensive that these young kids have to work 3 jobs. They don't see each other. They're struggling to pay bills. They can barely afford a house. It's about money. Back when Mr. Jeckovich was born, it wasn't about money. Gasoline was 7 cents a gallon. You could buy a beautiful house for $2,000. You could buy a beautiful car for $500.
Yeah.
Now there's so much pressure putting on these youngsters today, it's difficult. And by the way, if you're 40 years old, you only have about a 10% chance of making it to 100. 10% chance. So enjoy every day. Some of the information that came from the book. Something beeping here? We have an alarm going off?
No, it's fine.
Batteries are dead?
Yeah.
Would it still operate?
Yep.
Here's some of the ideas from the book. These are for his grandkids and great-grandkids.
13 minutes.
I really like for them to know about hand-me-down clothes and homemade ice cream and leftover meatloaf sandwiches. I really would. I hope you learn by humility by being humiliated, and that you learn honesty by being cheated. I hope you learn to make your own bed and mow the lawn and wash the car. And here's the best part. I really hope no one gives you a brand new car when you're 16 years
Oh
old.
boy.
Did you get a brand new car?
No.
Hell no. Hell, let them earn it. Flip some burgers or cut some grass. They'll appreciate that car. You give them a new car, they ain't gonna appreciate it. Here's another good one. It'll be good if at least one time you see puppies being born and the old dog put to sleep. I hope you get a black eye fighting for something you believe in. When you want to see a movie and your little brother wants to tag along, I hope you let him. I hope you have to I hope you have to walk uphill to school with your friends, but you live in a town where you can do it safely. What about your walking experiences to school? You started from Orleans Avenue, where'd you go?
I went to high school.
Niagara Falls High
That was
School?
3 miles.
So you went to 2 high schools simultaneously?
Yeah, and then after school, afternoon, I went to Trot.
Okay,
And that
and
was
from
2,
Trot,
3 miles from high school.
and then where'd you go from Trot?
But we went to Kreski's to work. So,
Okay, let me see if I get this right. You left 3063 Orleans Avenue, you went all the way into downtown Niagara Falls to go to Niagara Falls High School.
yeah,
And then at noon, you went to a vocational school
school, yeah.
way at the other end of the falls called Trot
Vocational,
High
yeah.
School. And then when that class got out, you walked all the way across town again, way across town. You got on Main Street of Niagara Falls, and you went to Kreski's.
Yeah,
And what did you do there?
stock boy.
Did your mother work there too?
Yeah, she was a cook.
Did she make you some really nice
Oh,
sandwiches?
yeah.
And did you eat up at the bar where everyone eats?
Oh,
Where'd you eat?
in the basement.
Why did you have to eat in the basement?
Well, my mother said it wouldn't look good if I sit upstairs.
She was probably right. She was probably right. Minutes, please? She was probably right.
10.
If you want a slingshot, I hope your dad teaches you how to make one instead of buying one. I hope you learn to dig in the dirt and read books. Tell us about when you're an 8, 9, 10-year-old boy about your book reading experience.
Book of the Month Club.
Tell me how that went.
They give you a review of a book every month. You either take it or you don't.
But there was more to it than that. You had to beat your mother to the mailbox.
Oh, yeah.
How come?
Well, but he said I was spending too much money on books.
So she didn't want you to read.
Yeah.
And so if you weren't allowed to read in the house, how did you read your book?
I read in the backyard in front of the garage.
So your mother didn't see you.
Yeah.
Imagine that, moms today, wouldn't they just love their kids to read a book? Yeah, they really would. I hope you get teased by your friends when you have a first crush on a girl, and when you talk back to your mother, that you'll learn what ivory soap tastes like. Yeah, yeah. I hope you sure learn how to find some time to sit on the porch with Grandma and Grandpa and go fishing with your uncle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. May you skin your knee climbing a mountain and burn your hand on a stove and stick your tongue on a frozen flagpole.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. May you feel a sorrow at a funeral and the joy during the holidays. I hope your mother punishes you when you throw a baseball through your neighbor's window, and that she hugs you and kisses you at Christmas time when you give her a plaster mold of your hand. Yeah. And there's one more important one I pulled from here, and I'm looking for it now. Here's the best one. I don't care if you try a beer once, but I hope you don't like it.
Yeah.
And if a friend offers you dope or a joint, this is very important, I hope you realize he is not your friend. Right?
Right.
Not your friend. These are the things I wish for you. Tough times and disappointment, hard work and happiness. To me, it's the only way to appreciate life. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Minutes, please. You feel up to answering any text questions?
Right.
You feel up to answering any text questions?
Go ahead, yeah.
Minutes, please.
8.
8. All right, let me get some ones out here. What were your dreams as a teenager?
As a teenager,
What were your dreams when you were a teenager?
not work so hard at home.
Yeah. Did you gamble when you were a
No,
teenager?
no.
What was your greatest hardships, Mr. Jeckovich, that you endured as a child?
Say again?
What were your greatest hardships, Mr. Jeckovich, that you endured as a child?
As a child?
What were your biggest hardships?
Well, I had to take care of my mother after my father died.
And that's big enough right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich took care of his mother from his age 11 to when his mother died at 89. He was there all the time. He lived upstairs and she lived downstairs. What kind of books did you like to read?
History books, electrical books.
Who had the most positive influence on your life?
My life?
Yeah, positive influence.
My uncle.
And who was that, Uncle?
Uncle Andy, yeah.
Yeah. And then Johnson, who wrote the book on running?
Yeah.
You read that book on how to jog
Yeah.
and the benefits of jogging, and you jogged for 80 years, right? Yeah. Your Uncle Andy was a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. Third grade education.
Third grade, yeah. That goes to show you, if you got brains, you don't need an education. He did all kinds of math work for work.
Oh, yeah. And he worked for Corsville. He was the key man over there.
Yeah. Did he retire from there?
Yeah.
He did. What were your hobbies, Mr. Jeckovich?
Hobbies?
Yeah.
Woodworking. Working around the house.
Yeah. And your mother kept you busy, right?
Yeah.
Wow. When you were a boy, what was your typical day like?
Probably get up at 7:30, have breakfast.
All right.
And if I wasn't going to school, my mother had about 15 chores for me to do.
Did your other brothers have to do chores?
Well, Looky was doing home run a lot. We had to go pick him up. He's always running away from home.
Okay, so they didn't stick around, right?
And Steve was at school.
Wow. As a boy, did you bite your fingernails?
No.
No. Wow. Wow. When you were a boy, did you have a great confidence level?
Confidence?
Confidence level as a boy?
In my experience, yeah.
Yeah. Minutes, please.
Four.
Four? Wow. You had a lot of girlfriends, one in Haverford West, Wales, Paris, Owensboro, Niagara Falls. What was your worst date ever?
Worst date ever?
Yes.
Leota Jankowski.
Who was this? Tell me that again. What the hell's her name?
Leota Jankowski.
How the hell do you remember that?
What happened?
I don't remember what the hell the person I met yesterday. How old were you then?
I was 18, 19 years old.
And you remember this lady?
Yeah.
Or girl?
What happened?
Tell us what happened.
Well, she comes from a good family, but she was always attached to me. She always wanted to be around me. I said, go your way, I'll go my way.
Did she live on Royal Avenue?
No, she lived on Niagara Street.
Oh, kidding. This guy's got
That was a good Niagara Street then. It's not good now.
Well, tell us, was Niagara Falls a nice place when you grew up?
Oh, a beautiful place then, yeah.
How did you make an ice skating rink?
Oh, yeah, open a fire hydrant.
And all you kids would skate in the front yard, right?
Yeah, we'd all be thrown in jail now if we did that.
Yeah, minutes.
3.
So, this Polish girl you were dating, did she speak with an accent?
No.
Because most of your neighborhood was either from Italy or from Poland.
Yeah.
You never have an accent, how come?
Who?
You don't have an accent.
No, we didn't. My father said we're Americans, we would talk American.
So he put his foot down, he says, there's no Russian in that house, and there's no Polish in that house.
No, all American.
How about your neighbor, Belinsky? Did he have an accent?
He had an accent. They talk Polish at home.
How did he sound when he talked?
I'll do all that big chatter accent.
Didn't you have a paper round of just Polish papers?
Gina Sasinski, 150 papers a day.
Minutes, please.
2.
Okay, tell us about delivering the paper. There must have been no English-speaking people there.
Yeah, my mother took the paper. She only read the obituary.
Why is that?
She went right to the obituaries, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Wow. But it were all the Polish people that subscribed?
All Italians, some Italians there, yeah.
But did they pay you well?
Oh, I had to fight with them after a while. They said, I paid you. And they tried to get out of it. But
So you tried to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah.
How'd you deliver 156 papers? Did you
Well, I had a
have
big black knight bicycle. I had big carriers out the front.
Wow. Did you make good money as a boy?
Well, I probably cleared $120, $125.
But you had to fight for your money, right?
Yeah.
Well, most Polish people are great cooks. When you went to their house, was there a great aroma of Polish cooking?
Yeah. Some of them were good, some of them weren't very good. I didn't know what they were cooking.
Okay. 1 minute?
Yeah.
So, your mother, she read the Polish paper, but she only read the obituaries, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Where did you pick up your newspapers at?
On Porter's Road and Niagara Street.
Was there many other paper boys?
Yeah, they dropped the papers off about 3 o'clock right after we got out of school.
That must have been a really big circulation.
Yeah.
If you had a lot of other paper boys picking up the papers in the street.
Yeah.
Did you have to insert the inserts, or were there no advertisements back then?
There was advertising in it, yeah.
And did you, what happens if it rained? Did you bring it inside the house?
Rain?
If it rained, did you bring it inside their house?
My what?
Where would you deliver the paper if it was raining? You couldn't put it in the driveway.